What's a secret you'll never tell your partner? That she is far more similar to her mother and sisters than she would want to believe. The wholesome answer: that our youngest son's first word wasn't mama. She was having a busy time at work and already felt guilty about not being home as much. Naturally, he spent most time with me, so his first word was papa. I kept my mouth shut and waited until he said mama and celebrated that as his first word. I never paid for her engagement ring. I went to a custom jeweler to have her ring made. It's a beautiful piece, and she loves it dearly, and it certainly wasn't cheap, appraised and insured for around $10K. The jeweler was dealing with a lot of family issues at the time, and was incredibly disorganized. I went to pick up the ring, and brought my checkbook to pay for it, and when she handed me the ring I took it out, and asked her who to make the check out to. She said, "Oh no, don't worry about it right now. Just send me a check in the mail." I thought that was strange, but sure, okay. She then hurried off to help another customer, and I left. But she never told me what the final price was. For the next 6 months, I texted and called the jeweler asking, "Hey, just tell me what amount to put, and I'll mail you the check." And there was always a reason she couldn't tell me. "Oh sorry, I'm out right now. I'll find it and text you later." Her shop was a few hours away from where I live, so it wasn't feasible to stop by and handle it in person. I tried for 6 months, but after that I stopped calling/texting and just figured I got the ring for free. I wouldn't tell my spouse because I don't want her to think I took advantage of the situation, or that somehow the ring isn't as "meaningful" because I didn't pay for it. When he was away for work for 4 months, and I was working full-time and single parenting, and depressed AF, one morning I hurried our kid, 3, out to the car before daycare with my hands full of stuff. I put everything in the car, put it in gear, and looked over my shoulder to back up. I backed up 2 feet and hit the brakes. I didn't put our kid in the car. I was looking at an empty car seat. My toddler was standing beside his door on the passenger side waiting for me, and now he was crying cause he thought I was ditching him. If I hadn't looked over my shoulder, I could have run over our kid. Blame sleep deprivation and all the other shit going on, but mom guilt still eats me alive when I think about those 2 feet. And my husband will never know, because I don't ever want him to think I'm a bad mom, or know exactly how bad it was for me while he was away. I've been so depressed lately. I do not like my job. I have crippling anxiety driving into work every day. I'm in 6-figure debt, so I can't leave. I can't provide the life my family deserves, and it's only going to get tighter in coming months. I cry most days. My wife and son are the only things in my life keeping me going. They do make me happy, though it's a sad happy, because I feel like I'm letting them down. My wife knows I'm not myself, but I won't tell her how bad things are. I know it will get better, but it's very hard right now. I got our toddler out of bed one morning and went to do a sniff test of their but to see if they had put overnight, and when I lifted my child up I stuck their head in the ceiling fan. Oh, and the time I forgot to put the car in park with them in it. I feel you on the ceiling fan. I was playing with my daughter tossing her in the air when she was about 7 months old because it makes her laugh. I'd say it was about the 3rd toss of going increasingly higher that I heard, and then saw her head smash directly into our 10-foot ceiling. The look of utter shock and confusion that lasted for about 4 to 5 seconds on her face before she burst into tears now makes me laugh when I think back on it. But Christ, did it ever put the fear of God into me at the time. I was 90% sure I had just crushed my child's soft spot/compressed her neck. My wife said I ran up the steps with her holding her like I just found her on the road after a car accident, trying to tell her we had to go to emergency right now. Christ, if I had sirens and lights on the car, they would have been on all the way, pedal to the metal. God bless the car. I'm thinking of mothers. She took her, stopped her crying, told me to calm down as well, and calmly took us to urgent care for a quick checkup. We laugh about it now, but first time parents just don't realize how bouncy and durable infants are. Even the nurse had a good chuckle when I told her what happened. Apparently it's pretty common, and she explained durability to me, but was glad we stopped in just to be sure. I was worried she would be upset for wasting the urgent care staff time, but they were incredibly understanding and helpful. That first time through with a kid leads to a lot of ridiculous stories in hindsight. My nieces don't like the aquarium. I just constantly took them there because I thought my now girlfriend who works there, was pretty and thought if she saw me constantly taking them it'd lead to us talking. Using my alt, because she follows my main account. My girlfriend of 5 years has been deaf since she was 6. She reads lips pretty well, but prefers sign language. I didn't know a single sign when I met her, but I could tell right away there was something between us, so I started learning after I got home from our first date. Fast forward a few years, I'm now fluent in ASL, and we use it to talk almost exclusively. When she's not looking though, I talk to her, even though she can't hear me or see my lips to read. I tell her how much I love her, how I'm going to marry her someday, how beautiful she is, etc. I've even been practicing proposing, so it's not so terrifying when I actually do it. She has no idea, and I plan to keep it that way. Our cat didn't break the towel rack, I did. I was pretending to be fighting zombies and grabbed it and ripped the goddamn thing off the wall. I heard her coming to check out the noise and looked down at my cat. She came into the bathroom to me asking my cat, why did you think the towel rack could hold your weight, you silly cat? My husband loves talkative cats. When we first got our kittens I gave them a treat every time they made a meow or chirp. Since I was working from home they ended up becoming very vocal. He still goes on about how lucky we are to have such talkative cats on a weekly basis. No me but my friend. So his wife was really sick, but was also extremely stubborn and religious. She believed that God will heal her, so he came to me and asked for a few of my sleeping pills. They're really strong and get you into a deep sleep quickly, so puts the pills in her drink. Like clockwork, in 30 minutes she's out cold. He then asks me to help him get her to hospital. Next morning she wakes up in the hospital. Good thing too, course on top of that sickness she had stage 1 cancer. She survived and it's all good now. But he made me swear I don't tell her what we did. That he legit saved my life. He's a nervous, humble guy who doesn't like undue pressure or praise, so I keep it to myself just how bad off I was before he showed up. Because even in the aftermath of my mom's death and even in the face of some pretty nasty health problems, which I was just letting slide because I was so depressed I was kind of hoping they'd kill me, I was very, very good at smiling and being charming. 3 years of taking care of a terminally ill parent taught me how to smile and bear it and feign positivity even when you're running on empty, and I never felt like I could be anything other than the fixer, the doctor, the person who always knows what to say, the reliable one, the who has every answer and can make bad feelings go away by just fixing the problem for you. I was not allowed to be negative ever, but he legit came in and helped me with mom's estate and cheerleaded me into getting out of a dead-end career and put a stake in the heart of some severely toxic relationships I had, and even helped me budget so I could finally afford health insurance, which wasn't a moment too soon because I caught right in the nick of time, and he just kind of did it. In his mind it was nothing much because you were on the right track, but you had a lot on your plate and needed help, and I just nod and agree because what else do I say? I actually wasn't. I was just going to let myself die because I was exhausted and miserable. Smiles aside, thanks for intervening.